He picked someone else, not me, after everything we had, after all those years, after everything that was said. He saw me one day and picked someone else. I can still remember that moment very well. Anne is my name. I'm 34 years old. This is my story. Daniel was the guy I thought I would spend the rest of my life with. We met at a small coffee shop close to where I work. The weather was bad, and not many people were there. When I walked in, he smiled at me. He started talking afterwards. He felt calm and nice at first. He paid close attention. He knew little things about me. Right away, I felt at ease with him. We went out on dates after 2 weeks. The start was lovely. Every day we talked. We got together on the weekends. At night, we made food, watched movies, and walked around the city. It was easy and warm to live. He told me a lot of the time, "I feel calm with you." I really felt those words. We moved in together after a year. I felt good. I thought that we were making a history. I saw us getting married, having kids, and living a quiet life together. Everything seemed fine for a while. Things began to change slowly, though. Things changed slowly at first. He became less loud. He used his phone more. He smiled some of the time while texting, but when I asked him who it was, he quickly said, "Just work." He had earned my faith, so I didn't ask him any more questions. But I had a strange feeling inside. A woman often knows when something is different before she sees proof. Daniel began coming home later too. Even when he was sitting next to me, he looked far away sometimes. He seemed to have lost his mind. We were having dinner together one night. He wasn't paying attention when I told him about my day. He looked worn out and lost. "Is everything okay?" I asked when I paused. He gave me a quick look and then said, "Yes, I'm just stressed." I agreed with him, but I didn't really believe him. After that, we were farther away from each other. He stopped putting his hand on mine. He not longer asked me about my day. There were times when we just sat in the room together for hours on end. I began to blame myself. I might have changed. I might have grown dull. He might have been sick of me. Every day, these thoughts wouldn't leave my mind. It made me work harder. I made his favorite food. I made plans for the weekends. I bought new clothes. I tried to get us back in touch with each other like we were before, but not much changed. He got cooler as I tried to warm him up. He got home very late one night. It was almost midnight. I was waiting for him in the living room. He looked shocked to see me awake when he came in. "Where were you?" I asked. "Too quickly," he said. "With friends." His voice sounded tense. I couldn't sleep that night. I felt heavy inside. Things changed after a few days. Daniel had his phone on the table while he was in the shower. I wasn't looking for anything when the screen lit up all of a sudden. There was a message. "I miss you already." My heart stopped. I took a long time to read the message. Then there was another message. A heart red. It was cold inside. I got it at that very moment. There was one more woman. I was still sitting there with the phone in my hand when he came out of the bathroom. He looked at me. After he looked at the screen, there was silence. "Who is she?" was the only question I asked. He didn't say anything for a short time. After that, he slowly sat down and put his hands over his face. I knew what was going on before he even spoke. He finally looked at me and said in a low voice, "Her name is Lisa." When I heard those words, my chest hurt. "Do you love her?" I asked. He didn't answer right away. That pause hurt more than anything else. He then said, "I don't know." I believe he knew already, though, and I might have known too, because he was leaving me slowly a long time before now. I didn't want to see it. Nothing was the same after that night. It felt like we were already apart, even though we lived in the same house. Even though Daniel didn't leave right away, he no longer cared about me. It was in everything. In the way he talked, the way he looked away, the way he got home late, and the things he said. At first we didn't fight. It got quiet. It was worse to be quiet than to shout. I tried to talk to him again one night. We need to fix this, I told them. We need to talk. He looked worn out. I'm not sure what to say, he said. Do you want to stay with me? I asked. He took a long time to answer. I knew the answer after that long quiet, but I still had to wait for words. I finally heard him say, I'm confused. That word made me feel bad. Not sure. It means your heart isn't where it should be. It means someone else is there. These kinds of days went by. We lived together, but we weren't together. Often he texted someone. Lisa, I knew it was her. He smiled at his phone sometimes. I hadn't seen that smile in a long time. And every time I saw it, something inside me broke. I tried anyway. I loved him. I might have loved him when he was different. I tried to remember good times with you. I showed him pics from the past. Look at this day, I told her. We were glad. After taking a quick look, he said, yeah, it was good. But his voice didn't sound warm. I asked him straight out, are you in love with her? He stopped moving. He told her, I don't know what I feel. I laughed a little, but it wasn't a good laugh. You always say that, I told her. He got up and went to the window. He didn't look at me. It was, I don't want to hurt you. But he was already making me feel bad. Every day it happened slowly and quietly like a wound that won't stop bleeding. I couldn't sleep that night. I thought about everything over and over, how we began, how we changed, how he changed, or maybe how I didn't care about the truth. Something painful began to make sense to me. He wasn't going to come back, not all the way, not to me. Now he had another place in his heart where I wasn't. After a few days, he got home late again. It looked like he had made up his mind this time because he looked different and calmer. He sat down next to me. He kept his jacket on. Let's talk, he said. What was going to happen? My heart already knew. My answer was, okay. He slowly told me, I think I need to go. I didn't move at all. To her? I asked. He said yes. There was only a small movement, but it was enough to destroy everything. For a second, I couldn't breathe. So it's her, I said. He looked down and said, yes. There were no reasons or long explanations. It was just the truth, which was painful. I had one more question. Was I not enough? He finally looked at me, and his eyes showed that he was hurt too. That's not it, he said. But I knew that not about that could still mean goodbye. I learned something that night that I didn't want to learn. He was not there anymore. I was the last person to know. I didn't cry that night, Sarazu. I did nothing but sit on the couch and stare at the empty room. Daniel was getting ready in his bedroom. I could hear the drawers opening and shutting. It felt like every sound was a goodbye. One thing kept going through my mind. How did we get here? We didn't know each other before. We used to eat, laugh, sleep, and plan our futures together. We were breaking like this now. Without a fight, in peace, and with no real finish that made sense. He left the bedroom with 2 bags. He stopped close to the door. He gave me a long look. I looked at him too, but I didn't have anything else to say. The words had been used before, or they were never said at the right time. It was a soft, I'm sorry. Then I said, I know. That was it. The door was opened. He took another break. I was hoping he would say something else that would make me feel better, but he didn't. He left. When the door shut, the house became quieter in a different way. It's not peaceful or quiet, it's just empty. I stayed for a long time in one spot. I didn't move. I didn't turn on the TV. I left my phone behind. I did nothing but sit there and let everything slowly fall away from me. The next few days were weird. The world kept going as usual. Some people worked. Outside, cars went by. Things kept going. But I felt like time had stopped in my life. I first blamed myself. I asked myself a lot of things. Was I not pretty enough? Was I not interesting enough? What did I do wrong? Slowly, though, something changed inside me. I became more aware of the truth. It wasn't about me, it was a choice. He picked someone else. It wasn't because I wasn't valuable, it was because he picked a different route. And that's not something I can change. This thought hurt, but it also made me feel good in a small way. Take a deep breath. I went for a walk one evening. It was cold outside, but the wind felt good on my face. I took my time going through the streets. People were having fun in coffee shops. People in pairs were holding hands. There was still life going on, and I was still here, breathing, living, and in pain, but still existing. That night, I learned something important. Love can end, but it doesn't have to end your whole life. Over time, I began to feel like myself again. I made food for myself. I made the house clean. I chose to listen to music again. Everything felt strange at first, but over time, it got used to it. I could still remember Daniel, but it wasn't taking over all of my thoughts. I opened a box of old pictures one day. I saw photos of the two of us, happy and smiling. Those were times when I didn't just feel pain. I also felt like I understood. We were real. It was true. But it was over. Also, not every ending is a bad thing. It's just a part of life sometimes. The box was shut. Though I didn't throw it away, I didn't need to see it every day. I now understand a simple thing. He picked someone else. And I made it through that choice. This part might be the most important one. Not who he picked,